Sure. So I guess my fascination with DMT began around probably around 2007, and I had initially come across it in Rick Strassman's book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule, the classic. And I had some previous psychedelic experience, but it felt like all roads led to DMT, and I was super intrigued. So I did spend some time learning quite a bit about it, but I also didn't really want it to color my experience. There's so many archetypes covered in the Spirit Molecule alone that I felt like I was in a pretty good place to not necessarily be swayed by any one particular trip report or another. But gosh, my first experience was interesting because the beings that I encountered were very fractaline and checkered and rainbow and kaleidoscopic. And initially, their attitude just seemed kind of like that of a jester or a harlequin or an acrobat, something like that. And they were creating glyphic letters with their bodies, kind of like an Indian goddess with, 1,000 arms. And I found it funny at the time because I actually had kind of a fear of clowns growing up because of Stephen King's It. Someone put it on daytime television when I was like 5. Great idea. But it wasn't until I sat with the experience for a while that I realized that they were very much like jesters or clowns. And it kind of cured me of my fear of clowns. And I later went on to become a clown myself and go to clown school and incorporate it into my performance art as a fire dancer and kind of like became a DMT ambassador in a way, just trying to find ways to express the ineffable in that experience. Because it felt like having gone through this amazing universal archive of creation and history, all the way from, the Big Bang through the, development and evolution of the stars and the planets and then life on Earth and then human history, all the way down to this little microcosm that is, my life and up to this DMT experience. But all of that happens like in the span of 5 minutes, and you come back and I looked over at my dear friend David's face and he's got this sort of like iridescent aurora colored Maori spiraling pattern on his face. I've expressed that in art as well, but just the the depth of the experience was so beyond what I felt like my imagination was capable of fabricating.